One of the weirdest things in an already weird election is happening right here in California. For almost 1 million voters in Los Angeles County, apart from the names Donald Trump and Mike Pence, there will be no other Republicans to vote for. Not one. Not one Republican running down ballot. According to the LA Times, it's a Republican dead zone, spanning parts of 5 congressional districts, 5 state assembly districts, and 1 state Senate district. In the race for the U.S. Senate, voters can choose either Democrat Kamala Harris or Democrat Loretta Sanchez. California has always been a Democrat stronghold, but this year many voters will only get a choice of either Democrat A or Democrat B. Congresswoman Karen Bass, a Democrat from California, joins us now to explain how all this happened and what this actually means for the election. So, Congresswoman, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me on.
I guess we have to go back, what, about 6 years?
Yes,
when
that's
California
right.
voted
exactly 6 years
on this change to the primaries. So
yes.
What happened?
Well, the original idea was if you didn't choose by party, then that would moderate the candidates. People wouldn't be so far to the left or so far to the right. But I actually think this has not worked at all. I think this whole process has been a windfall for political consultants and fundraisers because they get 2 bites at the apple.
Right.
So if this race had been resolved in the primary in June, then there wouldn't have been a race in the fall.
Because under the changes, it's essentially the top 2 vote winners get to go on to the general election.
Right, and because the overwhelming majority of voters in California are Democratic, that's why for a statewide race, it's primarily Democrats. It's also because one of our previous governors decided that he was going to have a ballot initiative that was very strongly anti-immigrant. And when he did that, he isolated the Republican Party in California, and frankly, the Republican Party hasn't recovered since.
So that's essentially explaining why there is just so little support in many parts of California for Republicans and why they don't want to hit the ballot, because they won't get the votes, they won't win.
Well, absolutely, but it's also because of the demographic change in California. Right. So the majority of the voters are Democratic. Democratic registration far outnumbers Republican registration. That's the real reason.
Okay, if you are a Democrat, I guess this is good news.
Yes, and I am.
Yes, but well, for the Democrats out there, or those who support the Democrats, it's good news. Is it good for democracy, though, in the long run? Well,
I think it reflects our population. And so I do think that that's correct, because that's what democracy is about, correct?
Right, okay, so you get to a point, though, where you only have a choice of Democrats. I mean, if you look at it from a distance, it's almost like, you know, being in China, where you get to vote for the Communist Party or the Communist Party.
Well, we do have Republicans in California, sure, and we do have legislative seats. And as a matter of fact, in both houses of the legislature, the Assembly and the Senate, it's not supermajority Democratic. So there are plenty of Republicans in the state legislature, and we also have plenty of Republicans in the House seats in Congress.
And there are Republicans running in other parts of the state, we should say.
Right, exactly.
Nationally, one of the big problems for Republicans during this campaign has been trying to distance themselves from Donald Trump.
Right.
That would seem to be a rather acute problem, especially here in California.
Right, that's right.
So how will they be tagged with Donald Trump, and what do you think will be the end result of that?
Well, I don't think that they can really distance themselves. And one of the things that I know from serving in the House is if on a daily basis I hear them promote the same policies that Donald Trump is promoting on the presidential stage, now that that looks so bad nationally, then you can't come here and then try to separate yourself and say, well, actually, I'm not anti-immigration, when that has been your votes and that's been what you've been doing in Congress for all these years.
We have a situation right now, the latest polling has come out, and Hillary Clinton, I think, is up by 20 points in California. It was 26 points just a week or so ago. Obviously, the state will still go for Hillary Clinton in the election, but it will have an impact on the overall national vote if she doesn't have a big win here.
Right. Well, it will, but I do think that you will see overwhelmingly people will turn out and support Hillary Clinton, and what my hope is, of course, is that that will enable us to win some additional seats in the House of Representatives right here in California.
And of course, the Senate is up for grabs, and they've got a guaranteed Democrat heading to the Senate, but that's not the situation elsewhere in the country, is it? Because the Senate is very much in play this year.
Exactly.
Okay, and so as far as moving forward, when you look from November 8th, if there is a Clinton administration if she doesn't have the Senate, if she doesn't have the House.
Right.
Is this country now heading into gridlock again?
Well, I believe so, and I'm very concerned about that because many of my Republican colleagues have already said that they're lining up the investigations that they're going to do of her, and I think that that's just terrible. That's an incredible way. We've already been through this for 8 years, and to imagine 4 more years of the same type of hostile environment, I don't think that serves our country at all.
Okay, Congresswoman, thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.